John Carter's days became busier as the weeks passed. He was no longer a visitor or even just a future husband. Now, everyone expected him to become part of the royal family and a symbol of hope between two worlds. He tried to learn everything. He could not just about the customs of Viridia, but about Luna and Myra as well. One sunny morning, John was invited to join Luna and Mira on a journey. The alien consul, Elder Keller, believed it was important for his granddaughters to see Earth and for John to share his world with them. John felt nervous, but also excited. He wondered what Luna and Mira would think of Earth's busy cities and simple foods. He hoped they would feel welcomed out. Their journey to Earth was fast and smooth, thanks to advanced alien technology. They landed in a large city near John's childhood home. Luna stared at the tall buildings, her eyes wide with wonder. Myra grinned as she watched people hurry by. Amazed at the noise and color everywhere, John guided them through crowded streets. He showed them simple things, a market full of bright fruits, a quiet park where children played, and a small bakery where the smell of bread drifted outside. Myra tried every food she could, asking questions about everything. Luna walked quietly, studying each detail, and sometimes she would take John's hand for comfort when crowds grew too loud. That night, John took them to meet his family. His parents, surprised but welcoming, greeted Luna and Mira with kindness. John's mother served homemade food, and his father asked polite questions about life on Viridia. Luna talked softly about her home, and Mira made everyone laugh with her stories. John saw his parents relax, and he felt grateful for their acceptance. The next day, Luna asked to visit a library. She loved books, even if she could not read every word. John sat with her in a quiet corner, explaining the meaning of simple stories. Myra, restless, explored the city's sports fields, playing games with local children who were amazed by her speed and energy. Even as strangers, Luna and Mira tried their best to learn about John's world, showing respect and curiosity. Later, John took them to see the stars from a hill outside the city. He talked about his dreams as a child and how he always wanted peace for all people. Luna listened closely, and Mira lay back on the grass, watching the sky. That evening, under the stars, Mira told John, "I thought your world would be very different, but now I see we have more in common than I ever guessed." During their stay, John noticed that Mira became more open. She asked about human music, learned simple dance steps, and even tried cooking. She laughed at her mistakes and seemed to enjoy the freedom of Earth. One evening, while they sat by a small fire in the garden, Mira quietly confessed to John, "I am beginning to like this world. I am also beginning to like you." Her eyes were honest, and John felt a warmth grow between them. Luna, too, changed. She asked more questions about John's childhood and his dreams. She admitted she was afraid that her people and John's people would never truly trust each other. "But I see how your family accepts us. Maybe peace is possible after all," she whispered one night as they walked together under city lights. The days on Earth passed quickly. Soon it was time to return to Viridia. John's parents hugged him tightly, thanking Luna and Mira for caring for their son. Luna promised to visit again, and Mira made John's father laugh by asking for more recipes. On the journey home, Luna sat close to John, her voice soft. "Thank you for sharing your world with us. I understand you better now." Myra smiled from her seat. "I have many stories to tell my friends." When they landed on Viridia, word spread fast about their visit to Earth. Some Alliance leaders were curious, but others were suspicious. They thought Luna and Mira might have become too fond of humans. Tensions rose again, and John saw how quickly fear could return. One evening, after a long meeting, Mira found John in the palace gardens. She was quiet, her usual energy missing. "Some people say our marriage will bring danger. They want us to be afraid," she said. "But I am not afraid. I have seen your world and your heart. I want this, John." John felt the truth in her words. He realized he cared for Mira, not just as a friend, but something deeper. He reached out and took her hand. "I want this too," he said softly. Luna joined them, her face calm but serious. "We will have many challenges. My heart is uncertain, but I wish for peace above all." She looked at John and Myra. "Let us promise that whatever happens, we will face it together." Myra nodded. John squeezed Luna's hand. "Together," he agreed. That night, John lay awake, thinking about his future. He knew nothing would be easy, but he felt stronger knowing Luna and Mira stood with him. They had seen his world, and he had seen theirs. Maybe, just maybe, their new bond would be enough to build the peace everyone hoped for. The next morning, John woke to news of rising political tension. Some leaders called for a vote to cancel the marriage. Others argued for war. Elder Keller met with John, Luna, and Mira, his eyes full of worry. "This is the time to show courage," Keller told them. "If you believe in peace, you must stand together now, no matter what the others say." John looked at Luna and Mira. He was afraid, but he would not let fear rule him. He stood tall. "We will not give up. We will show them that peace is worth fighting for." Luna nodded. Myra stood beside John, ready to face whatever came next. Together, the three of them prepared to defend their new family and their hope for a future without war. The days after the public announcement moved swiftly. John Carter started to notice the small ways his life had already begun to change. The palace staff treated him with more respect, but some still watched him with wary eyes. News reports flashed. Images of him beside Luna and Mira, each broadcast in different languages and dialects across the planet and to distant worlds. The whole galaxy seemed to be watching, waiting to see if a human could fit into the role given to him. John's morning started early with lessons from both sisters. Luna would explain the laws and history of the Alliance. She took her time, letting John ask questions. He listened to her gentle voice and the way she talked about the past, about wars, treaties, and the hope that things would not go back to old ways. Mira taught him how to greet important visitors, how to bow in the right way, and how to stand confidently in front of crowds. Sometimes she teased him, making jokes to lighten the mood. John was grateful for her laughter. It made his new home seem less cold. One morning, as John and Luna walked through the palace library, she paused by a wall filled with images of past leaders. "There has always been fear of outsiders," Luna said, her voice soft. "But sometimes outsiders bring the change we need." John smiled at her. "I'm still learning. I just hope I don't make a mistake." "You will," Luna said gently, "and so will we. But if we learn together, we will find a way." Myra was waiting for John in the courtyard. She handed him a wooden staff, her eyes shining with excitement. "Let's train again," she said. This time, several younger palace guards gathered to watch. Myra moved quickly, showing her skill. John tried to copy her movements. He lost his balance more than once, but each time he got back up, Mira nodded with approval. The crowd started to cheer for both of them. Not just Mira. After the practice, a guard named Rin stepped forward. "You are brave," Rin said, "but many do not trust you yet. Some fear you will change us too much." John nodded, understanding the challenge. "I'm not here to change anyone. I just want to help." That evening, there was a celebration in the city square. Lights floated in the air, and music played from hidden speakers. John was introduced to dozens of Viridian families and leaders. Many greeted him warmly, but a few looked away or whispered among themselves. Luna stayed close by his side, answering questions. Myra moved through the crowd, always coming back with new stories or food for John to try. Halfway through the evening, John noticed a group of strangers standing at the edge of the square. Their clothing was dark, and they did not join the dancing or laughter. Myra saw them too, and her face grew serious. "Some of those people want to stop this marriage," she whispered to John. "They think the old ways are best." John felt a knot in his stomach, but tried to look calm. "Should we go?" Myra shook her head. "No, We show them we are not afraid. John did his best to keep talking and smiling, but his mind kept drifting to those watching shadows. Later that night, as the celebrations ended, John was walking back to the palace alone when he heard hurried steps behind him. Before he could turn, someone grabbed his arm. John reacted quickly, remembering Mira's lessons. He twisted free, facing two masked figures. They spoke in a harsh, unknown language, pushing him against a wall. Before things could get worse, Myra appeared, her voice loud and clear. "Let him go!" The figures hesitated, then vanished into the shadows. Myra rushed to John, checking him for injuries. "Are you hurt?" "I'm fine," John said, though his heart pounded. "Thank you, Myra," she frowned. "You have to be careful. Some will test you not just in the open, but in secret." John nodded, shaken but grateful. When they got back to the palace, Luna was waiting, worry written on her face. Myra explained what happened, and Luna reached out, taking John's hand. "We will keep you safe," Luna promised. "But you must trust us and learn from us. There is danger, but also hope." That night, John could not sleep. He sat at his window, watching the stars. He wondered if he would ever feel truly safe or accepted. But as he remembered Luna's calm strength and Mira's quick bravery, he felt a little more hopeful. Maybe together, they could make this strange situation work out in the days that followed. John noticed more people smiling at him in the halls. Some of the guards nodded when he passed by. Even Rin, who had been unsure at first, began offering friendly advice. Luna showed John how to write his name in the Viridian language, laughing as he tried to copy the graceful shapes. Mira invited him to join in a fast-moving ball game that was popular on Viridia. John was clumsy at first, but he tried his best, and Mira cheered for him the loudest. One afternoon, Luna and Mira took John to a quiet garden filled with silver flowers. Luna played a soft tune on her instrument, and Mira told stories about the legends of their people. John listened, feeling peaceful for the first time in days. He spoke quietly, "I don't know what the future holds, but I'm glad to know both of you." Myra grinned. "You're part of this world now, John, whether you like it or not." Luna smiled gently. "And we are part of yours. We will face the future together." As the three sat together under the alien sky, John realized that family was not only about blood. It was about trust, courage, and choosing to stand together, even when the world watched and danger was close. For the first time, he believed that maybe this new family would not only survive, but thrive. After the announcement, John Carter's world changed quickly. He was no longer just a diplomat from Earth. Now, every step he took on Viridia felt different. News of his marriage to Luna and Mira spread across the planet and beyond. Some were happy, but not everyone agreed with this new bond between humans in the Alliance. John spent his first morning as a future husband in a small guest suite in the Consul's palace. The room had wide windows that let in soft purple sunlight. Strange flowers filled the air with sweet smells. It was beautiful, but John felt far from home. He missed Earth, the noise of city streets, the taste of simple food, and the way people joked with each other. There was a gentle knock at his door. When John opened it, Luna stood there, her hands folded politely. She smiled. "Would you join me for tea?" John nodded and followed her to a sunny garden. The plants grew in spirals, and small blue birds fluttered from branch to branch. Luna poured 2 cups of steaming tea, the liquid shining a faint silver color. They sat quietly at first. Luna looked at the sky and then at John. "You look troubled." "Is it the marriage?" John was honest. "A little, yes. I did not expect my mission to end this way." Luna's voice was calm. "It is a big change for all of us. You miss your home." John nodded, surprised by her understanding. "I do. I feel lost." Luna sipped her tea. "I once visited another world when I was a child. I miss my home too. But I learned that new places can become familiar if you let them." John smiled a little. "Thank you, Luna." Myra joined them soon after, her steps quick and full of energy. She greeted them with a wide grin. "Are you teaching him our customs, Luna?" Luna shook her head gently. "We are just talking." Myra looked at John. "You will have to learn many things. Our world is not always peaceful. There are people who do not want this union." John's mood grew serious. "Are you in danger?" Myra shrugged. "Not really, but some believe humans are weak. They will test you." John felt a strange determination grow inside him. "I am not afraid of tests." Myra smiled, a glimmer of respect in her eyes. Good. The next few days, John attended lessons about Viridian culture. Luna and Mira both helped him. Luna taught him the history of the Alliance and its laws. She was patient and clear, answering every question. John found her company calming, and he began to trust her. Myra, on the other hand, showed him how to move through the palace without getting lost, and how to talk to the staff and guards. She liked to joke, and her laughter made John forget his worries for a while. She showed him the training grounds, where young aliens learned self-defense. Myra challenged John to a friendly match with simple wooden staffs. John hesitated but agreed. Myra moved fast, but she did not use her full strength. John tried his best and surprised her by keeping his balance. After the match, they sat together, catching their breath. Myra's respect for John grew as she saw he did not give up easily. One evening, Luna invited John to a formal dinner with important members of the Alliance. The great hall was bright and full of strange foods. People wore colorful robes and jewelry that sparkled. John sat between Luna and Mira, feeling the eyes of many guests upon him. A tall alien stood and raised his glass. "To the union of our worlds, may it bring peace." Others echoed his words, but not everyone clapped. Some faces were cold and distant. John realized that some feared change, and he would need to prove himself worthy. After dinner, Luna walked with John in the garden. The stars above Viridia were large and bright, different from Earth's sky. Luna spoke softly. "Many in the Alliance are unsure, but they will watch us. If you show kindness and courage, they may accept you." John listened carefully. "I will try. I want to make this work." She smiled gently. "You already are." As days passed, John learned more about Luna and Mira. Luna loved music and often played a soft-sounding instrument in the evenings. Mira liked sports and often challenged John to new games. Slowly, the distance between them faded. The three spent more time together, learning from each other. John was surprised by how much he enjoyed their company. Luna's quiet wisdom and Mira's playful energy were different, but together they made him feel less lonely. One morning, the palace guards called John to the training grounds. There, he saw Mira in heated discussion with a group of young Viridian warriors. They questioned why a human should be honored with marriage to the Consul's granddaughters. Myra turned to John. "Prove to them that humans are not weak. Show your courage." John took a deep breath and accepted the challenge. He faced a Viridian warrior in a simple test of skill and endurance. The match was fair but tough. John did not win, but he refused to give up, even when he was clearly outmatched. In the end, his opponent nodded in respect. Afterwards, Mira clapped him on the back. "You showed them. You are brave." That night, the sisters visited John's room. Luna brought him a small gift pendant made of crystal. "For courage and friendship," she said. John thanked her, feeling a real connection forming. Mira gave him a smile and said, "You're not alone here. We are with you." John looked at both sisters. He was still far from home, but now he felt a little less alone. Maybe, he thought, peace was not just an agreement between worlds, but a friendship that grew day by day. As he drifted off to sleep, he felt hope for the future, hope that this strange new life might truly become his own. John Carter stepped off his small diplomatic shuttle, taking his first breath of Viridia's sweet, cool air. The sky overhead shimmered a gentle shade of lavender, and soft blue grasses waved in the gentle wind. John straightened his formal suit, feeling out of place yet determined to fulfill his mission. He had come to secure peace, and nothing else mattered. Viridia was the home planet of the powerful alien Consul, leader of a vast alliance of planets. Humanity needed peace with this alliance, and John's job was to ensure it happened. He walked toward the Consul's grand meeting hall, a tall building made from glass and smooth stone. Shining under the alien sundial as he entered, several alien guards eyed him carefully. They were tall beings, their skin shimmering shades of blue and green, their eyes large and curious. John nodded politely, knowing diplomacy started with respect. Inside, the main chamber was filled with aliens from different planets, whispering quietly among themselves. As John passed by, dot at the far end sat the alien consul, Elder Keller, an ancient being known for his wisdom and strength. His eyes glowed softly as he observed John's approach. Keller was seated on a throne made of silver metal, decorated with sparkling gems that reflected light in every direction. "Welcome, human ambassador," Keller greeted in a deep, calm voice. "We have awaited your arrival." John bowed respectfully. "Thank you, Elder Keller. Humanity hopes this meeting will mark a lasting peace between our worlds." Keller nodded slowly. "Peace, yes. But true peace often requires bonds stronger than simple words and agreements." John hesitated, sensing something unusual in the elder's tone. "What do you mean?" he asked cautiously. Keller gestured, and two young alien women stepped forward. They were clearly sisters, both stunning in appearance. The taller one, Luna, had delicate features and eyes that sparkled like crystal. She appeared calm, her expression serene and thoughtful. Myra, the younger sister, stood confidently, her eyes vibrant and curious, her posture proud and defiant. "These are my granddaughters," Keller explained. "Luna and Mira. You will marry them." John's eyes widened in shock, unable to hide his confusion. He glanced from Keller to the sisters, then back again. "Marriage?" he asked, unsure he heard correctly. "Elder Keller, with all respect, surely there must be another way." Keller raised his hand gently but firmly, silencing John's objections. "Our people value unity through family bonds. You, John Carter, will marry my granddaughters to ensure peace and unity between humanity and the Alliance. This bond will guarantee the strength of our agreement." John swallowed hard, aware of hundreds of alien eyes focused on him, waiting for his response. Refusal would destroy humanity's chances at peace and could lead to conflict. But accepting would change his life forever in ways he could barely imagine. Finally, he spoke softly, choosing his words carefully. "May I have a moment to speak privately with Luna and Mira?" Keller nodded approvingly. "Of course. Understanding each other is vital to this bond." The sisters led John to a quiet room filled with plants from different worlds. Luna sat gracefully on a low bench, while Mira leaned against the wall, studying John carefully. "Do either of you wish this marriage?" John asked gently, hoping for honesty. Luna spoke first, her voice soft yet strong. "We have grown up knowing this day will come. It is our duty, but it is also an opportunity. I wish peace for our people and yours. If marriage helps that cause, I accept it willingly." Myra's eyes flashed with a hint of defiance, her voice bold. "I don't fear change or challenges. I find your kind fascinating. I accept, but not simply because I must. I want to see where this path takes us." John nodded slowly, impressed by their honesty and strength. They weren't merely pawns in political games. They were intelligent, strong individuals with hopes and fears of their own. "I respect your courage and your honesty," John told them sincerely. "I came here to bring peace, not knowing the price. But hearing your words makes me believe we can find a path together. If we do this, let us promise honesty and respect between us above all." Luna smiled gently, her crystal eyes warm. "Agreed." Myra's expression softened slightly, a small smile playing at her lips. "Yes, honesty and respect. That is a good start." Together, they returned to Elder Keller. The grand hall fell, silent as the consul waited for their answer. John stepped forward, standing tall. "Elder Keller," John announced clearly, ensuring all could hear him. I accept the marriage to your granddaughters Luna and Mira. May this union truly bring lasting peace between our worlds. Keller's eyes glowed brighter, clearly pleased. Then let it be known, humanity and the Alliance will be bound by family. May this bond endure through generations. The chamber erupted in applause and cheers from alien delegates hopeful for a brighter future. John glanced at Luna and Myra, feeling a complex mix of relief, anxiety, and a spark of genuine curiosity about what the future held. His mission was to bring peace. Now he realized peace was far more personal and complicated than he ever imagined. John woke up feeling tired but hopeful. The battle from the day before was still on his mind, but he also felt proud of how everyone on the ship had worked together. When he walked through the halls, many Zilari greeted him with friendly words. It was clear that things were changing. Even the ones who had not trusted him before now seemed to respect him. He found Lyra waiting for him near the command center. She looked tired too, but her eyes were bright. "Good morning, John. Are you ready to help with the repairs?" John nodded. "Of course. What do we need to fix first?" Together, they walked to the engineering room. The battle had left many systems damaged. Some power lines were still unstable, and several important machines needed new parts. John and Lyra worked side by side, talking as they fixed each problem. Their teamwork felt natural now. John no longer worried about what the other Zilari thought. He trusted Lyra, and she trusted him. While they worked, Lyra told John about the meeting she had with the ship's commander after the attack. "He thanked me for leading the defense," she said quietly. "He also said he was surprised by how well you work with our crew." John felt a small smile on his face. "Maybe we are not so different after all," Lyra nodded. "I believe that now." After several hours, the ship was almost back to normal. John checked the last few machines, and Lyra looked over his work with approval. "You have learned quickly," she said. "Some of my people now ask if you will teach them about human technology." John laughed softly. "I will be happy to teach them. Maybe you can teach me more of your ways, too." As they finished the repairs, a message came through the speakers. "All crew to the meeting hall," the voice said in the Zilari language. Lyra translated for John. In the meeting hall, the commander stood in front of the crew. He spoke about the attack and how everyone worked together to save the ship. Then he looked at John and Lyra. "We have learned that humans and Zilari can work together," the commander said. "Because of your bravery and skill, we are stronger." John felt proud. The crew clapped, and even those who had doubted him before now looked at him with respect. Lyra stood next to him, her head high. After the meeting, Lyra asked John to walk with her. They went to the garden again, where the glowing plants made everything look soft and peaceful. Lyra sat down on a bench and looked at John seriously. "I want to tell you something important," she said. "When I first met you, I was not sure about humans. I thought you were weak. But now I see that you are strong in your own way." John listened quietly, not wanting to interrupt. "You have changed how my people see humans," Lyra continued. "And you have changed how I see myself. You taught me that showing feelings does not make me weak." John felt his heart beat faster. "You taught me too, Lyra. You showed me that bravery is not just fighting, but also helping others and being honest." For a moment, they just sat together in silence, watching the light from the plants. John felt closer to Lyra than ever. He wanted to say more, but he was not sure how. Lyra seemed to understand. She took his hand in hers. "We make a good team," she said softly. John nodded. "The best team?" Just then, an alarm sounded again. John and Lyra jumped to their feet and hurried back to the command center. This time, the problem was not an attack, but a major system failure in the navigation controls. Without them, the ship could not move safely through space. John and Lyra rushed to the navigation room, where several Zilari engineers tried to fix the problem. John saw right away that a core part was burned out. We need a replacement part, he said, but I think we can make one from other parts on the ship. Lyra trusted his idea. She ordered the crew to bring old equipment from storage. Together, John and the engineers worked quickly to build a new part. Lyra watched over the work, giving advice and making sure everyone stayed safe. The work was hard, but after 2 hours, they finished the new part. John carefully installed it, his hands steady even though he was nervous. The navigation system turned back on, and the ship's controls returned to normal. Everyone cheered, and the commander thanked John in front of the whole crew. Later that night, Lyra invited John to a quiet dinner in a small room near the gardens. She wore a soft blue robe instead of her armor. John felt nervous, but Lyra was calm and kind. They talked about their journey, their dreams, and how much they had learned. From each other, Lyra looked into John's eyes. Our two worlds are different, but I believe we can build something new together. John smiled. I want that too. They finished their meal and walked in the garden again. Lyra squeezed John's hand and smiled. Tomorrow will be a new beginning. John nodded, feeling hope for the future. He knew that whatever happened next, he and Lyra would face it together, as partners and as friends. John woke up the next morning feeling stronger and more confident. Training with Lyra had made him feel like part of the crew. As he walked down the hallway, he noticed more Zilari greeting him with a nod or a quiet word. It felt good to be accepted, even if some still watched him with careful eyes. When John reached the training room, Lyra was already there waiting. She greeted him with a smile. Good morning, John. Today I will show you more advanced moves. Are you ready? John nodded, excited to learn. Lyra handed him a training stick again, and they began their practice. This time, Lyra moved faster, and John had to focus hard to keep up. He made mistakes, but Lyra did not laugh or get upset. She helped him, showing him where to stand and how to hold the stick better. Their practice felt like a dance, and John found himself enjoying every moment as they trained. Lyra asked John more questions about Earth and humans. She wanted to know about human families, friendships, and even human jokes. John told her funny stories from his past, and Lyra laughed more than he had ever seen before. It made him happy to see her so relaxed. After training, Lyra and John took a walk through the ship's gardens. The Zilari ship had a small area filled with strange plants that glowed softly in the low light. Lyra picked a blue flower and handed it to John. This is a sign of respect among my people, she said. It means you are trusted. John took the flower, touched by the gesture. Thank you, Lyra. This means a lot. They sat together on a bench, looking at the glowing plants. Lyra grew quiet, her eyes thoughtful. Some of my people are worried, she said. They think I am spending too much time with you. They do not understand our friendship. John felt a little sad. I do not want to make things hard for you. Lyra shook her head. You are not the problem. Some are afraid of change, but I believe this is the way forward. Just then, the Zilari commander walked into the garden, his face serious. Lyra, I must speak with you. Lyra stood up, her back straight. Yes, Commander. John waited on the bench. While they spoke, he could hear the commander's voice, but not the words. Lyra answered calmly, never looking away. After a few minutes, the commander left, looking unhappy. Lyra came back to John. The commander wants me to stop spending time with you. He believes it is a distraction. John felt worry grow in his heart. Will you stop? Lyra shook her head. No. I decide who I learn from. You have taught me much about humans and myself. I will not let others control my choices. John smiled, proud of her courage. Thank you for standing up for me. Lyra smiled back. We are stronger together. They left the garden and went to the dining hall. The mood among the crew was tense. John could feel the eyes of the Zilari on him and Lyra. Some whispered, others looked away. But a few came to talk, asking questions about Earth and humans. John answered as best he could, trying to be open and friendly. Suddenly, the ship's alarm blared loudly. Red lights flashed in the halls. Lyra's face grew serious. "We are under attack," she said. "Enemy ships are approaching." John felt fear, but he followed Lyra quickly to the command center. The Zalari officers worked quickly, shouting orders and moving to battle stations. Lyra stood tall, giving commands with confidence. John wanted to help. "What can I do?" he asked. Lyra pointed to a control panel. "Help me manage the defense systems. You understand machines and systems." John took his place at the panel, his hands moving fast. He helped power up the shields and check for weak spots. Lyra stood beside him, her calm voice giving orders to the rest of the crew. Suddenly, the ship shook as enemy fire hit the shields. John worked quickly, rerouting power and fixing damaged systems. Lyra led a team of warriors to defend the main entrance as enemy soldiers tried to board the ship. John heard shouting and the sounds of battle. He wanted to run and help, but he knew his job was to keep the ship working. He kept his focus, fixing what he could, and sending updates to Lyra. At one point, the power flickered. John realized the enemy had damaged the main power line. He ran down the hall, dodging blasts, and found the broken wires. Using his tools, he fixed them as fast as possible, sweat running down his face. The lights came back on, and the shields grew stronger. In the chaos, John saw Lyra fighting bravely against the enemy. She moved with skill and power, her eyes focused and strong. John felt a deep respect for her. He wished he could help more. Finally, the enemy was pushed back. The alarm stopped, and the crew began to check the ship for damage. Lyra returned, her armor scratched but her face calm. "We did it," she said, looking at John with pride. John smiled, feeling tired but happy. "I only helped a little." "You were amazing." Lyra touched his arm. "We did it together." The crew saw how humans and Zalari can work as one. That night, as they sat in the quiet of the ship, John realized something important had changed. The crew looked at him differently, and he knew that he and Lyra had proven something big. Not just about fixing ships or fighting battles, but about trust, teamwork, and friendship that cross all boundaries.